sorry about what happened.
That's okay. You told Norma about the fight, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought I should. You mad at me?
No.
Well, how do you feel?
Oh, I'm fine.
You sure?
A-okay. Rita, that fight I had with Joe on the wharf 100 years ago. Well, it's hard for me to separate Joe and Lee Weber. But I've got to try, because they're different. And you've got to try and separate them, too. Now, you were involved in Joe's life. You were part of it. But you're not part of Lee Weber's life.
I know. I'm part of your family.
And you don't have to fight my battles.
You fought ours. Someone comes at you with a chip on his shoulder.
I'll walk away.
Maybe Lee learned something.
What?
Sandy says it won't happen again if you'll take him back.
Not a chance.
Well, aren't you going to need a mechanic?
I'll get another one. What are you getting so chummy with Sandy Weber for?
I'm not.
Well, you obviously are here because she asked you to come.
She figured I'd understand. We're a lot alike.
You and Sandy Weber? It's like night and day.
We grew up together on this wharf.
You got away. Don't look back.
I don't want to start looking down, either. You know, my mother still lives on this wharf. She runs a tavern, remember?
Yeah, I know. Sandy is,
What?
She's a tough girl married to a bitter guy.
So what? You're just going to write them off? Let a man starve because he's not good enough to work for you?
Lee Weber won't starve.
Well, he's not just looking after himself. He's putting his brother through law school.
Wait a minute. You forgot to say blind brother.
I didn't think I had to. Are you going to write Chris off just to punish Lee?
I don't want to punish anybody. I just want Lee to stay out of my way.
Well, why can't you give him another chance?
What's the matter with you, Rita? You don't understand. This isn't something, a goof-off in a garage, a guy who forgot to clean a couple of windshields. He's a dirty-minded, dirty-mouthed bum. I want him out of my life. No, I don't want him back here. Now, if you want to light a candle for Joe Chernock, go ahead. Don't burn down my house doing it. I'm sorry, I didn't have any right to say that.
It's all right.
Starving to serve the dinner. I tried to call you.
My desk was piled high in back work. I told Miss Nolan to hold all my calls.
I could warm up some stew for you.
Thanks, but I had a sandwich.
Not seeing you at breakfast, it was a long day.
Well, you were sleeping so soundly, I switched off the alarm.
You made me break one of the cardinal rules of marriage by letting my husband go to work on an empty stomach.
Last night, you made me break one of my cardinal rules. Going to bed angry. I swore that if I quarreled with my wife, we'd patch it up before.
I didn't want it that way. Would you like your sweater?
I'll get it. I went to Rod's garage today.
Oh?
I spoke to his mechanic, Weber.
Any particular reason?
Well, he'd been bothering Ann Howard again. I wanted to stop.
Did he say he would?
He said a lot of things. Ugly things. He told me about my wife coming to the garage to see his boss.
And you believed him?
Shouldn't I?
What else did the town crier say?
It isn't what he said, it's what he allowed me to think.
First your mother and now Lee Weber. This town is filled with people just dying to let you in on their interpretation of your wife's activities.
I never hear your interpretation.
All they have to do is just put my name in the same sentence with Rod's.
Betty, listen to me. The other night you asked me to have faith in you. Well, tell me why you went to Rod. Tell me it's because you ran out of gas, because you had a flat tire. Tell me any logical reason you can offer. I'll believe it.
I love you.
Tell me the truth, Betty. I'll believe you. I want to believe you.
I went to talk to Rod to tell him about the sketches you found in Ann's father's suitcase. I thought maybe he'd know something about them, or perhaps his grandfather might know something.
Rod was invited to our home while I was away. That time you talked about Catherine Peyton's portrait being slashed. This time you went to the
Stephen,
sketches.
you wanted the truth.
You know, you and Rod ought to be art critics. You're both so hung up on the subject.
No, you don't understand.
Now, why is it? Whenever you have something to say to Rodney, it's without me.
Can't you understand?
Why didn't you wait for me?
Stephen?
Why couldn't we discuss these things together, the three of us?
Not true.
Why is it always without me?
Why don't you put your money where your mouth is, boy? No. 5, man.
You gotta get him out of here.
What's he done?
Sound it off. He's got a mean tongue.
Thanks, Ada, for calling me instead of the police.
Join us for a drink, baby? Just say the word, we'll mop up the floor with that loser.
He's my husband.
Ah, come on, let's get out of here. I know where there's some real action. Ada, tab me, honey.
Sure.
Anybody ever tell you you were a real drag, Sandy?
Come on home.
Get out of here.
Not without you. Quit punishing yourself.
Who's punishing who?
It doesn't do any good.
Answer me.
Seen you like this before. Drinking, fighting, wrecking things. It's no use.
I said, who's punishing who?
It always starts the same way. Somebody said something about Chris being blind, or about that girl, Ann Howard. Come on, Lee, let me help you.
You help me?
Well, I'm your wife.
Big deal.
You're supposed to be able to trust me. Try it. Just this once.
Why? So the next time you take off, you can have a big laugh with one of your friends? You're no wife.
I know I shouldn't have run away last winter. But I came back. I wanted to be with you. I wanted to see if we could make it.
Because you had no place else to go.
Okay. Maybe I have been a lousy wife. Maybe I could have done something besides running away. Maybe it is a terrible sin to flirt with other guys. But give me a chance. Is that too much to ask? all you have to do is need me just a little bit. To want me for something besides kicks. I love you, Lee. No matter what, I love you. I know I was no bargain in the beginning. But I'm better than nobody. Isn't having somebody better than nobody?
You're nothing to me. Nothing and nobody. Me and Chris. That's all I care about. Me and Chris.
Let him go. Let Chris go. Let him go. Come on home, Lee. Come on. Lee, stop it, Lee. Lee, she's not here. Shh. Lee, she's not here. Lee, she's not here, Lee.
I'll find her,
Lee, come on home. Lee, wait.
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
He isn't home.
Never mind about Rodney. Call Ann Howard and warn her about my brother.
Sandy said...
Call Ann Howard.
Now, how can I trust you?
Believe me, Stephen, there's nothing between us.
There's something more important between you and Rod, more important than our marriage.
Lee Weber is looking for a place to explode.
I'll be ready.
For another Joe Turner?